Hey everybody, this is Chris from Kratom Kingdom, and this is going to be real short. I just want to kind of get a quick poll. My friend just called me and said that he'd heard about this stuff called Kratom or something like that, and he said, asked me, aren't you taking that stuff, or haven't you been taking that? I'm like, yeah, I take that stuff every day, and I love it. And he's like, well, dude, it's a drug. You could get in trouble. And I was like, it's not a drug. So I went through and explained to him the whole thing. I told him to go watch the 100 videos that I made based on Kratom and why it's not a drug and how it's a very useful substance. We could get into philosophical conversations. What is a drug? Is sex a drug? Because sex releases endorphins and dopamine and oxytocin, just as Oxycontin releases dopamine and oxytocin. And I mean, it's all the same neurotransmitters. But what is a drug? Is Kratom, should it be considered a drug that we should be careful with? I, say no. I recently left Narcotics Anonymous because they insisted that I stopped drinking Kratom. And when I asked them for an alternative substance to get rid of my migraines and my aches and pains and my depression, they had no idea. They said, you're gonna have to do just like the rest of us and suffer. And I'm like, bullshit. God or the universe or whatever created this plant that heals me. I mean, it's healed me. It's curing my migraines and giving me energy, giving me happiness, making me drool. So I'm just curious, if you guys believe that Kratom is a drug, then put a dislike on this video. If you believe it's not a drug, give it a thumbs up and comment as to why you do or don't think it's a drug. I'd love to hear your opinions and maybe get some conversations going on the subject matter, because it's getting out there more and more, and the more it's out there, the more the FDA is going to start looking at it, and the more big pharmaceutical companies are going to try to get it shut down, and that's my fear. Cannabis would be legal if it wasn't for big pharmaceutical companies and idiotic politicians. And I can't wait for the day where I can make a cannabis tea and mix it with my Kratom. Can you imagine what a beautiful tea that would be? A little Kratom with a little bit of cannabis. And I'm not telling you to go out and do drugs, but that was the whole point of this video. What is a drug? I'm just curious as to what